In our previous episode, Kronos was left unconscious, and it was at that moment that Zeus knew that as soon as his Titan siblings would find out, war would be inevitable. The war that followed became known as Titanomachy, the Battle of the Titans. It lasted 10 years with earth-shattering effects. All of Kronos' siblings sided with him, aside from Prometheus and Epimetheus. Kronos, much like his father Kronos before him, paid for his mistake of imprisoning the Cyclops at the Hecatoncheires, as Zeus freed them and asked them to fight for him. The Giades giants also sided with Zeus. In the final battle, the Cyclops hammered their mastery into storms for Zeus to use as weapons. In 10 years of bloody battle, the Titans finally surrendered. Now was the age of the gods. They were the third order. Now let's examine this new order of divine beings. Zeus is our king of the gods, the sky father, the lightning bearer. He ruled over his divine siblings and all of creation. He envisioned peace and prosperity, so he moved his kingdom to Mount Olympus and started allocating realms of responsibility to his siblings. First came Hestia, the firstborn. She was the goddess of the hearth. This may sound unimportant to us, but the hearth in ancient Greece was the heart of the home and the family. So Hestia was a goddess dear to families. Then came the time for Zeus to decide who would rule over the seas and the underworld. He decided to leave it to luck. He put 2 rocks in his hands behind his back. One was blue and one was black. He brought them forth and let his brothers Poseidon and Hades choose. Thus Poseidon inherited the seas and Hades the underworld. Demeter was next, to whom Zeus gave the responsibility of the harvest, fertility, and the seasons. Aphrodite was a Titan and technically the god's aunt, but she joined the third order, and thus Zeus decided to give her the responsibility to rule over love. Hera was a fierce warrior in the Titanomachy, and her and Zeus became a couple to rule the cosmos together. She is often depicted as a jealous and vengeful being, but she wasn't. She was the patron saint of marriage and weddings. From her marriage to Zeus, Hera gave birth to Hephaestus, who was the blacksmith to the gods. She also gave birth to Ares, who became the god of war. That is when Zeus started his unfaithful escapades. He slept with Metis, but fearful of a prophecy that said she would bear a child that would overthrow him, he convinced her to turn into a fly and then swallowed her. It wasn't long after that, however, that he felt a terrible headache. It felt like someone wanted to come out. Hephaestus grabbed an axe and split his head in 2. That's one way to deal with a headache. From his head emerged Athena in full armor. She became Zeus's favorite child and the goddess of wisdom. By sleeping with Leto, the twins Apollo and Artemis were born. Artemis was the goddess of the moon and the hunt. Apollo became the god of the sun and the prophecies. From Maia came Hermes, the messenger god and the inventor of the lyra. Finally, from Semele came Dionysus. He is my personal favorite god and patron saint of my island Andros. He is the god of partying, wine, and the vine. Through peace times and Zeus's infidelities, the Olympians were now complete. The gods were happy ruling over the cosmos. But Zeus felt like something was missing. A piece of creation that would make his world complete. Stay tuned for our next episode and the next part of this series.